Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly horoscope for April 20th to the 26th, 2026. My name's Adeana. I'm an intuitive astrologer. Sagittarius, this week is asking you to get honest about what brings you joy and whether you've been fully allowing yourself to experience it, not in a surface level, temporary way, but in a way that's aligned, intentional, and sustainable. Because what's being activated now is your relationship to pleasure, creativity, love, and self expression. And the truth is, not everything you've been entertaining is actually fulfilling you. So we start the week off on April 20th with a powerful and pressurized alignment in your fifth house of creativity, romance, joy, and self expression. We have Mercury forming a conjunction to both Mars and Saturn in Aries, and we are also still very much in the Mars Saturn conjunction energy that we had on April 19th. So this is serious energy in an area that's meant to feel light and joyful for you. This could be great for creative discipline. This could be maybe you committing to something that you genuinely care about, whether that's a creative project, a passion, or even a romantic connection that requires effort and maturity. Maybe you're being asked to take your joy seriously in some way. But this could also show up as frustration or creative blocks, tension in romantic situations, or even you may feel like something that once felt exciting now feels heavy or complicated. This is not meant to take the joy away. This is meant to refine it. So you need to ask yourself, am I investing my energy into something that actually feeds me or something that drains me? Because your time, your energy, and your creativity are valuable. Then we get to April 23rd, and this is where the energy shifts into your sixth house of work, routine, and health. We have Venus forming its final conjunction to Uranus in Taurus. This is a breakthrough moment in your daily life. This could bring positive changes in your work environment, new opportunities, or even a shift within your routine that feels more freeing and aligned. You may feel inspired to change your habits, your schedule, or even your approach to your responsibilities. This is liberation in your everyday life. But you do have to watch for disruptions, sudden changes in work or routine, or feeling like things are unpredictable or out of your control in some way. Something may shift very quickly, but it's meant to show you what isn't sustainable. You definitely need to stay flexible this week because your routine should support your life, not restrict it. And anything that is restricting you, Uranus is going to shake that up. Then we get to April 24th, and we have Venus moving into your seventh house of relationships and partnerships. This is where the energy becomes more relational. This is connection. This is harmony. This is attracting people who align with your energy, or even improving existing relationships through understanding or mutual effort. This is where things can feel really good within partnerships. However, sometimes with Venus in the seventh house, we do have to watch for overcompromising, people pleasing, avoiding conflict, or even losing yourself in someone else's needs. So you definitely need to make sure that you're staying grounded in who you are, even while connecting with others. Because a healthy relationship doesn't require you to overcompromise or people please or drain yourself for the needs or wants of others, right? Then we get to April 25th, and this is where the energy shifts in a way that will impact your relationships long term. Uranus is officially entering your seventh house in Gemini. This is beginning a multi-year evolution when it has to do with your relationships, your partnerships, your one-on-one connections. This is a relationship awakening. This can bring exciting dynamics and unconventional connections. You may start to attract people who challenge you in some way, who stimulate you mentally, or even push you to grow in new ways. Your relationships are about to evolve over the next 8 years. But you do have to watch for instability, sudden changes within partnerships, difficulty maintaining consistency within relationships or partnerships or one-on-one dynamics. You may feel like things are shifting quickly. Just remember that over the next 8 years, the changes that take place and whatever Uranus shakes up for you, this is about finding relationships that are aligned with who you are and your growth, not your comfort. So you definitely need to try to stay open, but also grounded in your values. Then we get to April 25th, and we have the sun in your sixth house forming a square to Pluto in your third house of communication and mindset. This is tension between your routine and your thinking patterns. You may feel mentally overwhelmed or stuck in certain thought cycles. You may even feel frustrated with how things are playing out in your day to day life. But this is good for transformation of some kind. This is you becoming aware of the thoughts and habits that are limiting you and choosing to change them. However, you do have to watch for overthinking or power and control dynamics or trying to force solutions instead of allowing space for clarity. You may need to shift your perspective in some way because the way you think shapes the way you experience your reality. Then we get to April 26th, and we have Mercury in your fifth house forming a square to Jupiter in your eighth house of intimacy and shared resources. This can create tension between your desire for expression and deeper emotional realities. You may feel like you want to speak, create, or express something, but there's an emotional layer underneath that complicates it in some way. Conversations in romantic or intimate situations may feel exaggerated or overwhelming. This is great though for like deep conversations. This could be you expressing yourself in a way that is honest and emotionally aware. However, you do have to watch for oversharing or dramatic reactions, or even you speaking from emotion rather than clarity. So, this is a time you definitely need to slow down, feel first, and then speak. Now, also on the same day, we have Venus in your seventh house forming a sextile to Neptune in your fifth house. This is very romantic, very creative, and deeply connected to energy. This is where relationships feel inspiring, where creativity flows, and where you feel emotionally open in a way that feels safe and supportive. This is where things begin to feel aligned again. Sagittarius, this week is about refining your joy, your relationships, and your daily life. You are being asked to let go of what isn't truly fulfilling you and to make space for what is. And that requires honesty because not everything that feels good is meant to last, but what is aligned will grow with you. Sagittarius, this is not just about change. This is about alignment with what truly fulfills you.